Welcome back, everybody. Today we're doing a deep dive on Lisa Ann Tauai. Now, this woman really breaks the mold. We're going to be talking about her based on this magazine interview you sent over. There's so much to unpack here, but I think one of the most interesting things about her is she's accomplished so many incredible things, both in and out of uniform.
Yeah, it's definitely not every day you see a retired lieutenant colonel who's also a current reigning beauty queen. It's really interesting to see how these two seemingly different worlds have shaped her life.
Right. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack here today. So she spent over 20 years as a registered dietitian in the Air Force, which, I mean, that's amazing on its own. But now she's at Nellis Air Force Base, still working with military families, helping them with, all things nutrition. But what really struck me about her story was her journey to success. It was really fueled by some tough times she went through. Early on in life, she dealt with a lot of bullying when she was in school. And instead of letting that break her, she kind of turned it into fuel, She decided to excel academically.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, you see where that determination led her.
Yeah, and that really speaks to a certain resilience, I guess.
Yeah.
A resilience that we see, all throughout her life, whether it's going through the super rigorous military training, or even, performing on the pageant stage. Tauai just seems to embrace the challenge and turn it into an opportunity to grow.
For sure. And that really connects to her views on women's empowerment, which she really defines it as believing in yourself and pushing past any of those limitations that others might try to put on you. She's like a living example of that. Now, here's something you might not expect. Tauai's actually been interested in pageants since she was a little kid. She was completely captivated by those competitions she saw on TV, and she even thought of it as a way to prove those bullies wrong.
Oh, wow. That's it makes you think about how much our early experiences, even the really tough ones, shape our paths later in life. And for Tauai, it seems like those early challenges really played a role in her drive to achieve and to kind of defy those expectations people set for her.
Totally. So picture this, okay? Tauai is she's volunteering at a pageant in Las Vegas, and they invite her to watch the competition. And seeing those women on stage, so confident, it ignites something in her, and she decides to try it out. Not really even for the crown itself, but for that for the personal and professional growth that she thinks the experience can bring her. And get this, in her very first pageant, she won Miss Congeniality, which honestly I think says a lot about her character. But it was actually the judges' feedback that really stuck with her, especially one comment about her military walk. I can only imagine what was going through her head when she heard that.
That's it's really interesting how Tauai seems to use feedback, both positive and even the constructive kind, as fuel to improve, I guess you could say. I think that analytical mindset that she's developed, from her scientific career, probably plays a big part in how she approaches getting ready for the pageants. Identifying areas for growth, and just methodically working toward that goal.
You're exactly right. So when it came to picking a pageant system to compete in, she was really drawn to the International Beauty Pageant system. She actually specifically looked for Susan Jeske, who's the director, because she really admired how fair she was, how honest she was, and her extensive experience in the world of pageants.
Yeah, that seems to be a bit of a running theme with her, doesn't it? She really seems to value structure, clear criteria, and a sense of fairness, right? Which really aligns with her military background, where precision and following the rules are super important.
Exactly. And speaking of criteria, for this particular pageant, the judges were looking at a couple different qualities: interview skills, how they presented themselves, and how they were on stage. It's not just about how you look. They really evaluate the whole person. Now, one thing Tauai learned through competing is that her performance wasn't always consistent. Sometimes it was better than others. But what's really fascinating is that she kind of embraced that inconsistency. She didn't let it get her down. Instead, she focused on the things she could control, like her preparation, her mindset. And she just kind of let go of the things that were out of her hands. She even started using visualization techniques to help boost her confidence.
That's a really powerful lesson. And it's something that, we can all use in our own lives, I think, whether it's, self-reflection, identifying those areas where we can grow, or just accepting that we just can't control everything. Those are key to getting through any kind of challenge.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Tauai believes so much in the international beauty pageant system. She really recommends it to other women. She talks about how affordable it is, how they communicate clearly with you, and that fairness that she values so much. But let's not forget, pageantry is just one part of who Lisa Ann Tauai is. She's also incredibly passionate about nutrition and wellness, especially within the military community and in her local community in Las Vegas. I mean, think about it. She's been on NBC News 3, she's been on podcasts, she's been featured in magazines, and she's given so many nutrition briefings on military bases. She's really taking her knowledge and her passion, and she's putting it into action to help people live healthier lives.
It's just amazing to see how her pageant platform, like how it aligns so well with the work she does professionally. It really shows her commitment to making positive change.
Yeah, and let's not forget about all of her accomplishments in the military. We're talking over 40 awards and decorations, and she even served as a squadron commander, which is, a pretty big deal. That's a lot of leadership and dedication.
Right, and it's easy to see how those achievements,
Yeah.
combined with her positive personality, would make her stand out anywhere, whether she's wearing her uniform or an evening gown.
Oh, absolutely. And can you even imagine the feeling of hearing your name announced as the winner? Tauai said it was like pure joy and gratitude, and she just couldn't stop smiling. But to her, being a beauty queen is about so much more than just like outward appearances. She really believes that true beauty comes from within, from kindness and courage and humility. Those are the qualities that really shine and have a lasting impact.
Right, and that's such a powerful message. And it goes way beyond, the pageantry world. It reminds us that true beauty is really about your character and your values and how you treat other people. Those are the things that leave a mark, It's something we can all strive for no matter what we look like or what we've accomplished.
I completely agree. So for Tauai, being in pageants seems to have been like a catalyst for her personal growth and transformation. It's helped her confidence, it's pushed her outside of her comfort zone, and it's helped her connect with this amazing group of people.
Yeah, and it shows how powerful it can be to chase your passions. Even the ones that might seem a little unconventional or unexpected. Stepping outside of your comfort zone can lead to some real self-discovery. And you might even unlock some hidden potential that you didn't even know you had.
That's a great point. And her message of hope and inspiration, it's something we can all really benefit from by focusing on our strengths and taking action on what we want in life. We can all make a positive impact in our own ways.
It's like a call to action to think about what you're good at and what you're passionate about, and use those things to make a difference however you can.
Now let's dive into her interview strategy a bit. She really emphasized honesty, being genuine, being confident, and keeping your answers short and to the point. It's all about connecting with the judges and letting your personality shine through.
Right, and that authenticity is key. Whether it's a pageant interview or just talking to a friend, when you're genuine, it builds trust and creates a more meaningful connection.
And while being prepared is, super important, Tauai knows that things don't always go according to plan. Remember that story she told about the interview where the judges were kind of acting weird and there were like distractions and stuff that threw her off?
Oh, yeah, and that just shows that even if you're, totally prepared, life is going to throw you curveballs. And it's that ability to adapt to the unexpected.
Yeah.
And to, stay calm when things get tough. That's how you handle the ups and downs of life. Right?
Oh, right, it is. But what really impressed me was how Tauai reacted to, all the negativity that she saw from some of the other contestants. Instead of, getting sucked into it or just ignoring it, she actually tried to counter it with encouragement and compliments.
That really says a lot about her character and her commitment to creating a positive and supportive environment. She could have easily just focused on her own worries and anxieties, but she chose to try to uplift and empower those around her instead.
It's a good reminder that we can all choose to be positive instead of negative, and to use our words to build people up, not tear them down.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that our words have power.
Yeah.
And choosing to use that power for good. We can all make a conscious choice to be a force for good in the world. And it starts with how we treat each other, right?
Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to touch on her dedication to promoting plant-based nutrition, she's really using her platform to educate people about healthy living,
Yeah.
to talk about the benefits of a plant-based lifestyle.
It's amazing to see how she's tying her personal passions to her professional work,
Yeah.
you know, and using her influence to make the world a better place. She's not just talking about it, she's actually living it.
And her story shows that we can all go after our passions, no matter how different or unusual they might seem. It's about figuring out what excites you, and
Yeah.
then making it happen.
Right. It's about discovering those talents you have and sharing them with the world. Lisa Ann Tauai's story really shows that anything is possible as long as you dare to dream big and take those bold steps towards your goals.
Well said. We'll be back with the final part of our deep dive on Lisa and Tauai after a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
It's really amazing how Tauai's story kind of challenges our ideas about, what a beauty queen is and what paths you can take to be successful. Her journey really reminds us that remarkable people, they don't always fit into neat little boxes,
Right. It's like she's taken the best at like both worlds, the discipline and the structure she learned in the military, and the grace and confidence that she's gotten from pageantry, and like combine them into something really special. Speaking of pageantry, I'm curious to hear more about how she prepares for these competitions. She mentioned using flashcards and working with the coach, and even like watching YouTube videos, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that shows how willing she is to learn from different sources. She doesn't just stick to the traditional ways of doing things. She's open to like new technologies and resources, kind of like approaching it with the same strategic thinking she probably used in the military.
That makes sense. And remember her advice for getting that perfect pageant walk. It wasn't just about, the steps themselves. It was about like being relaxed and having fun and really projecting that inner confidence.
Right, and that reminds us that true confidence, it comes from within. It's not about trying to be perfect. It's about, accepting who you are and letting that authenticity show. And that's what really draws people in.
Totally agree. And when it came to picking out a dress, she said she went for comfort, and
Yeah.
how well it moved and how well it fit, not just something flashy or expensive.
Yeah, that's really interesting because it kind of goes against what we often think about, pageants, all that extravagance and focus on looks. Yeah. But her approach is more about substance over style.
Absolutely. And speaking of substance, her definition of a true beauty queen really stuck with me. She talked about inner beauty, kindness and courage and being humble. Those are the things that really matter, not just how you look on the outside.
Yeah, and that's such an important reminder. True beauty, it's not just about physical traits. It's about the qualities that make us human, the values we have, and how we treat other people. Those are the things that people remember.
For Tauai, it seems like pageantry was like a way for her to grow and change as a person. It gave her confidence, helped her put her boundaries, and introduced her to like this whole network of inspiring people.
It shows how powerful it can be to just go for it, to pursue those things you're passionate about, even if they seem, a little out there. Stepping outside of your comfort zone, that's where you can discover yourself and maybe find some hidden potential you didn't even know you had.
And her message, it's really hopeful and inspiring. If we focus on our strengths and actually take steps towards what we want, we can all make a difference, each in our own way.
It's a call to action, really, to figure out what you're good at, what you're passionate about, and use those things to make the world a little bit better.
So let's talk about her interview strategy a bit. She said it was all about honesty and being yourself and having confidence and giving concise answers, not rambling on, really about connecting with the judges on a personal level.
Yeah, that authenticity is so important in any kind of communication, whether it's a job interview or a pageant interview or even just talking to a friend. When you're genuine, people can feel that.
Yeah.
And it creates a stronger connection.
And even though, it's crucial to be prepared, Tauai admitted that sometimes things just don't go the way you expect them to. Remember that story about the interview where the judges were like acting strangely and there were all these distractions that threw her off?
Yeah, that's a good reminder that even with the best preparation, you can't always predict what's going to happen. Being able to adjust to those unexpected challenges and stay calm under pressure, that's an important life skill.
It really is. But what really stood out to me was was how she dealt with the negativity from some of the other contestants. Instead of, joining in or just ignoring it, she actually went out of her way to encourage them and give them compliments.
That shows a lot of empathy and a real commitment to creating a positive and supportive environment. She could have easily just focused on her own worries, but she chose to lift up the people around her.
It reminds us that we all have the power to choose to be positive and to use our words to help people, not to hurt them.
Absolutely. It's about um, realizing that our words, they have an impact,
Yeah.
and we can choose to use them to make a positive difference.
Now, before we move on to the final part of our deep dive, I want to highlight her dedication to promoting plant-based nutrition. She's really using her platform to teach people about healthy living and to advocate for the benefits of a plant-based diet.
It's inspiring to see her, taking her passion and turning it into something that can help others. She's not just talking about it; she's actually living it
Yeah.
and trying to make a positive impact on the world.
And her story shows that we can all pursue those passions no matter how unconventional they might seem. It's about finding what you love and then going for it.
Exactly. It's about, discovering those unique talents that you have and finding ways to share them with the world. Lisa Ann Tauai's story is a great example of that. It shows that anything is possible if you dream big and take those brave steps towards your goals.
I love that. And we're back with the final part of our deep dive into the life of Lisa Ann Tauai. It's been an amazing story so far.
It really has. We've talked about her military career, her success in the pageant world,
Yeah.
and her passion for nutrition and wellness.
And remember, like this whole deep dive is based on that magazine interview you sent. It really paints a picture of a woman who has a lot of substance and depth. And one thing that's come up again and again is her focus on inner beauty.
Right. It's a theme that runs through her whole story. She always talks about, kindness and courage and humility as those hallmarks of a true beauty queen.
It's a message that goes way beyond the pageant stage. It's a reminder that it's our character, our values, how we treat others. That's what really matters.
Absolutely. And she doesn't just talk about it, she lives it. Remember how she reacted to that negativity from the other contestants?
Yeah, instead of, piling on or just ignoring it, she actually like countered it with encouragement and compliments.
It was a really powerful example of choosing to be positive.
And speaking of making a difference, she's so passionate about using her platform to promote plant-based nutrition.
Yeah, she really believes in the power of healthy eating to change lives, and she's committed to spreading that message.
Her journey it's a great reminder that we can all, pursue our passions even if they seem a little unconventional.
It's about figuring out what lights you up inside, and then taking those steps to make it happen.
Lisa Ann Tauai's story really shows us that anything is possible.
If you dare to dream big and take those bold steps towards your goals.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the life of Lisa Ann Tauai, I want to leave you with a question to think about. What unconventional path might you be inspired to explore after hearing her story?
Think about your own strengths, what you're
Hmm.
passionate about, and the impact you want to make on the world. What possibilities are out there waiting for you? What dreams are you ready to chase?
That's it for our deep dive today. Thanks for joining us as we explore the incredible journey of Lisa Ann Tauai. Until next time, keep searching for those inspiring stories and never stop diving deeper.